Because this invention marks the end of humanity. Slater, that's a bit dramatic. No, it's not. Facebook has changed their company name to Meta. Microsoft just announced their own Metaverse as well. This is both of these companies' main focus right now, to get you sucked into the Metaverse. And I assure you, with more certainty than anything I've ever been sure of, once you get sucked into it, you will lose your soul. When your kids and grandkids get sucked into it, they will lose their souls. You think it's bad just seeing people walking down the street with their heads in their phones like that? You think that's bad? That's nothing compared to sitting in your pod with your mouth agape for the rest of your life, like this kid here. And this is what Zuckerberg wants for you and your progeny, just forever. There are no souls in the metaverse, only avatars. And people will choose it over real life. As Sean Puri said, billions of people already carry a little computer in their pocket to take pictures of things to show off for virtual hearts. Kids spend 8 hours a day on screens. I'm sure it's even more than that. That's half their waking life. We are already, right now, in a primitive form of the metaverse, limited only by the size of our screen and the speed of our thumbs. But the full version, Zuckerberg says, will be here in full completion by the end of the decade. And this is going to be pitched as, oh, we can all connect with each other. Yeah, connection. Look how fun this looks. Here's a bunch of people living in the metaverse right now. Oh, super. And you will get sucked in unless you have a conviction against it. And if you don't have a conviction against it, then we'll all look like this. Wall-E was quite a predictive work. So what is the metaverse? What is the metaverse? It's a virtual reality world that you live in. It's a virtual reality world that everyone lives in. There is no real life. You live entirely in a virtual reality space. Think about it like this. For all of human history, 100% of your attention was spent on the real physical world around you, right? Then TVs were invented, and that dropped our attention to the real world to about 85%, right? 15% of our time was spent in front of the TV, and that fantasy world, and the 85% was spent in the real world. Then computers were invented. That dropped it down to about 70% of our time was spent in the real world. Then phones were invented, and now about 50% of our time is spent in the real world. Once Ray-Ban manufactures their new glasses called Ray-Ban Stories, which is just a virtual VR headset. Right now, like virtual headsets are pretty like big and clunky. This is a virtual headset that looks just like Ray-Ban sunglasses. So once those are fully on sale, now virtual reality sits right in front of your face, like a pair of sunglasses. And at that point, 100% of your life will be lived in the virtual world. And that's the moment when people's virtual lives will become more important than their real life. And at that point, we're screwed. Because you put on your VR goggles or your Ray-Ban sunglasses, and you will live in a virtual space. And there's no people in the virtual space, just avatars of people, cartoon versions of you and others. Here's a little bit from Zuckerberg's presentation, his vision of the metaverse.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Mark.
What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
So the first destruction in the metaverse, the first destruction of realverse is your identity. You're not you, right? You're not your height, weight, skin color, facial features, whatever. You're whatever you want to look like. You can be a dog. You can be a robot. You can make up anything. You can be some monster you can make up. You can be some cartoonized sort of version of yourself. And this is what we show to each other. It's a lot like Fortnite, which your kids are already obsessed with right now. It'll be a seamless transition for them to join completely into the metaverse and become their characters completely. People already use avatars on their phones, right? Just a cartoon version of their self. And I always saw those. I thought that was creepy. But that's one of the first things that gets destroyed in the real world, in the metaverse, is there's no more real you anymore. Here's more from his big demonstration.
Hey Mark, down for a VR foiling sesh?
Now this is more my style.
Classic look. All right, nice. Oh, nice choice, Mark. Ready to shred. All right, here we go.
Whoa.
Whoa, hang in there, Mark.
That's not good.
Hit this section, boom. All right, backflip. Yoo-hoo!
I've got an idea.
Hey, where are you going?
Gotta pump it to jump it.
What? I didn't even know that was an option. You're not gonna catch me now. Take that, unicorn. Oh, Tube City.
Kai, you're out of control.
Take that, unicorn. So, like that, the whole thing creeps me out. I hope it does you too. Just seeing the cartoon versions of anyone creeps me out, just that alone. But here's the problem with this. You think, Slater, who would choose to go fake surfing over real surfing? Almost everybody. Because fake surfing is easy and it's instant. And there's no work, there's no effort, there's no learning, there's no failing. You just do it. And it looks like however you want it to look like, right? You can be in Hawaii or whatever made up magical land they are there, and you can do backflips, which isn't a thing when you surf, and you can like run into unicorns and get extra points, right? The metaverse is whatever you want it to be. And it's easy. And that's why people are gonna choose it. And it doesn't have any of the bad things, right? Like sand, right? No one likes getting sandy. So the fake, and this is a metaphor for everything in life, not just surfing, everything in the metaverse, I should say, it's all the easy parts, which means it's none of the real parts, right? It's all the good things about surfing, none of the bad things about surfing, but it's not real. It's not actually surfing. And I know there's a lot of people thinking, oh, Slater, people wouldn't choose the fake. Yes, they would. You say, well, what about the feeling of surfing? The feelings. First of all, I talked to someone who did years ago who used some virtual headsets, and they walked to the edge of a cliff, and in their virtual reality thing, and they looked down, and their stomach dropped as if they were actually looking over a real life cliff, but they weren't. They were just in the middle of a room. So your brain can feel things in virtual reality world, right? It's so immersive that you actually feel like you are surfing even when you're not. But to get that extra level, there's another technology that we need to be aware of as well. The word is called haptic. Haptic. I don't even know how they're going to use it. Like haptic devices, probably. Haptic is from the Greek word meaning to touch. So these are things that you wear, whether they're haptic gloves or a haptic bodysuit, and you wear it, and it vibrates or it has different tensions or heats or whatever, so that in the metaverse, if you were to hug someone, it feels like a hug. It feels like it, right? Like your suit tenses up in the places where you're being hugged. So it will feel like a hug. It's obviously a fake version of a hug. But you can get a hug from anyone you want, any celebrity in the whole world, anyone you make up, any fake avatar, whatever, you can get a hug. You get that fake intimacy without any responsibility or sacrifice or service or love. So these sensory devices that are also being developed will trick you into feeling sensations. Your brain will trick you, and even your body will trick you. And again, I know someone saying, Slater, why are you concerned that people will choose this over real life? Because real life has sand, right? Real life has struggle and suffering and disappointment and difficulty and heartache. And in the metaverse, you can have whatever you want. That's the promise, at least. You can have whatever you want. So there's two main forces at play that we need to be aware of. The first is real life is hard. Metaverse life is easy. Hey, Slater Crusaders, right now on the first app, we have a special about the metaverse and the evils of it and how I'm imploring you not to join it. Have a conviction against joining it because it will be pushed on you and it will only cost you your soul. That is the severity of what we're talking about here. This is Mark Zuckerberg's new creation. He doesn't just want to run a company. He doesn't just want to run a country. He wants to be God. And he wants you to be his slave. We're going to talk all about this on the special. It's available right now on the First app. Download it on your smartphone right now, totally free, and watch our special, Beware the Metaverse. Humanity depends on resisting.